Okay, I need some water first. Right. Gotta be hydrated for that big job. Alright. Originally, I wanted to make a Smiling Friends video. I mean, originally I wanted to talk about movies in general. Also want to talk about cartoons, shows in general, so I'm just trying to figure out how to start, but yeah, pretty much I wanted to do a Smiling Friends video first, but then I decided, hey, I like to talk about movies, and I went over and thought about my favorite movies, like my top 3 favorite movies of all time, do not have sequels. As of right now, they do not have sequels. One of them has a spiritual sequel, and I could talk about that at some point if I feel like it, but I'm gonna keep those movies, my top 3 movies, under wraps until I feel like doing videos about them, which at this point I probably will since I'm doing this video. But with that being said, one of my favorite movies around the spooky season, I mean, it's my favorite Tim Burton film at least, and yeah, doesn't have a sequel, and it probably never will. Because I don't know how it would. But I want to talk about a renowned classic, Beetlejuice. So now I think it's time that we talk about. So now I think it's time we give a little mention to the ghost with the most. Alright. So I just have it here so that I remember what I'm talking about. But I do not know what number it is in his filmography. That I might need to fact check real quick. Excuse me. As far as I'm seeing on IMDb, the way that it's listed, because it also lists like short films and like 32 like minute independent projects, and I don't really know if those count. So looking at directly his, oh wait, yeah, no, there's just a bunch of little independent projects all the way up till Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I'm gonna assume that's like his big directorial debut, like as opposed from the little projects that I've mentioned, unless there's something that it's leaving out. But right after that there's like TV stuff, it seems to be, because it's like shows with episodes, and he was a director for each episode. And then he immediately did Beetlejuice and Batman back to back. You know what? That's a wild resume to go from Pee-wee's Big Adventure and then jump immediately to Beetlejuice and then Batman right back to back. I need to turn on the subtitles. I always have subtitles on, so I don't know why they weren't on. It's also weird because I'm watching it on YouTube. I have Max and other platforms, but I specifically put it on YouTube just for convenience. And I put restart because I was watching it. And I put restart and it just put me as resume. It just put me back in the middle of the movie, so I don't know what that was about. But I guess then I just need to jump into the movie because I love Michael Keaton a lot. I like Winona Ryder in this era a lot. I mean, a lot of people did. That's kind of how the Stranger Things role happened, is that I think I saw the story where it just said that the guys who made it were just like, man, we miss Winona Ryder, let's put her in this. And then Winona Ryder resurgence happened, and that's cool. But this is peak era Winona Ryder in Tim Burton films, but then also Edward Scissorhands, which I also love that movie. Another personal favorite. But I guess, yes, let's get into this movie, because I'm at the part where I forgot that this movie opens apparently with I think it almost feels like they're going on vacation, but they're just gonna be on vacation at home, and they are a loving couple, and that's all you need to know about this movie. But then Alec Baldwin, yes, Alec Baldwin is in this movie, and they didn't give him a gun, so you think that's what happened, but it's not. Yeah, he goes to the store because he's making models and shit, and then he runs out of paint or glue or whatever, and then they go home because he took Gina Davis with him to the store, and then they go home. I forgot the part where I don't know if it's like her sister or a relative or someone that's trying to sell her house. But yeah, then they go home from the store. I probably skipped so much. And then they almost hit a dog, and then they don't hit the dog, and then their car sinks, and then they walk home and trudge home, and they say, oh, it's good to be home, until they go outside again, and they say, oh no, we're dead, and they get sucked up into Saturn or Jupiter or space or something, and there's sandworms, and I'm just spiraling. But one of the highlights of this movie is that Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis have good chemistry, because this is when they are hot, and they are a very loving couple with no children. And since this is 1988, the movie's gotta tell you, bad, they don't have children, they don't deserve a big ass house, which is kind of why the person trying to sell their house keeps coming back. And then they do sell the house to pedophile Jeffrey Jones and his family, which consists of Winona Ryder and Catherine O'Hara. I almost said the mom from Home Alone, but I love Home Alone, so she will be the mom from Home Alone to me. Oh yeah, I'm just at the part where they're gonna touch the fire, and then nothing happens because they're dead, but their fingertips lit on fire like a birthday cake. And then I just know that I like the part where they try to scare the people out of the home. Oh yeah, they're the Dietzes, is the family they try to scare out of the home. And so yeah, with them trying to scare them out of the home, I just like those antics, because there's a lot of practical effects in this movie, since it's 1988 and not the time where there was only CG, because there was CG, but it wasn't anywhere to where it was today. Yeah, there was CG, but it wasn't anywhere near what it is today, or it's like in modern day, literally the whole movie is CG. And if you want a good look at what CG looked like in the 80s, you can look at the opening of Labyrinth, where it starts with a CG owl, and it looks like the most like Windows 95 era shit you've ever seen, where it is literally a polygon of an owl. And so this movie decided, since they had Tim Burton production, and the best replacement at the time was to utilize claymation instead of CG. I mean, it still looks wonky, but at least it's stylized. I just mean wonky compared to today. You have real live action people juxtaposed to claymated stuff, and it looks great. I mean, it doesn't look great, but it gives the feeling. It gives a whimsical feeling to such a dark movie, and that's what this movie does perfectly. Like, Tim Burton's essence doesn't feel like it overshadows like it does sometimes. Like, even Edward Scissorhands, it just feels so mourning, I guess. It just feels kind of eerie, or what is that called? Like cathartic, or it feels good, sad. But Beetlejuice is a fun movie, despite its very dark premise of the like main characters dying from the beginning of the movie. Just gotta get the spoiler moment. Now we've reached the best part, because this is the only part I want to talk about this movie. The main highlight of this movie is Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, and his introduction is literally him reading a newspaper to see who's died, because he needs job opportunities. He is a freelance bioexorcist, which in this movie means that instead of removing ghosts, he removes the people from the household for the ghosts. And since the Maitlands is their name, Maitlands just died, they need him because they're stupid, which is what the movie does with their bureaucratic process of treating the afterlife like a hospital waiting room or something like that. It's just a waiting room, and then they say, you should have read your book, blah 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 blah, and then they're like, oh, we'll renew, and they're like, well, this is the goddamn DMV. And Alec Baldwin just looks good in his flannel because he's young Alec Baldwin, and Gina Davis always looks good, but she's also young Gina Davis. And then I think I can actually fast forward a bit. Covered everything. This is just the part where the sister's grieving. Skip that. Dietzes come in, they look at the house. I wanted to do movies by memory, but then I realized my memory is horrible. And also, this movie just has highlights, so I'm just gonna skip through this. Oh, wait. I'm at a part that reminded me of my favorite things. Again, the practical effects, where I even love the cheap looking ones, where Gina Davis is like sleeping in the bed, and then she's just floating above the bed. And Alec Baldwin has no head. Looks like a cheap Halloween store looking prosthetic. Excuse me. Yeah, the part where he has no head looks like a cheap Halloween costume, but I like it. I think the makeup effects the makeup effects artist did not get enough credit for this movie. Also, one of my favorite shots is easily where Gina Davis has the eyes popping out of the head. That is one of my favorite like movie frames or movie stills or scenes of all time. I just love the way it looks. It's goofy, and also just, if I did see that in real life, it would scare the hell out of me. But this movie kind of presents it as scary and goofy, but I love it. Only thing I don't really like is the sandworms. It feels reminiscent of Doom. I wonder if that was the intention, because I think Doom had a iteration. Did I say Doom? I mean Dune. Sorry. Yeah, it's very reminiscent of Dune, though. And I've never seen Dune. I think I wanted the book, but I realistically wasn't going to read it. So if anyone wants me to watch the new movies or the old movie of Dune, let me know. Because I could watch a movie with Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya whenever. I liked Timothy Chalamet's Wonka movie. This is gonna be the most like ADHD vibe video of all time, because I cannot focus on this. Just looking at Winona Ryder. The camera went out, and that's okay. This movie's eccentric music is another thing to bring up. Kind of feels like the era of cultural appropriation. I mean, it's got the Banana Boat song. I always kind of feel it's a little weird, but yeah, it's got that. It's a wacky scene everyone thinks is haha funny. It's one of my least favorite scenes, probably. Like, it's fun, but kind of detracts and derails. And so I'm gonna fast forward a bit, because I want to get to Beetlejuice. Cinematography's great. A lot of close-up shots. Oh, I love the green lighting that happens, because they just focus it to, like... I love Tim Burton's lighting. I think the way he does lighting is great, where it, like, shines in. It doesn't overstep. It doesn't... Like, he can make a realistic setting where it's like every time it focuses just on Charles Dietz, and he's just in, like, the study room. And you can see that it's lit perfectly average. It just looks like someone at home on a morning, and they're just witnessing stuff. So it's like it has a little bit of a cold tone to it, but not too cold to where the vibe changes. And even when the vibe does change, it's ghostly in a green sense or a blue aura. And I love his use of greens and blues in this movie. And also, Winona Ryder's character of Lydia Dietz is one of the greatest. I think it might be one of the greatest castings. Not one of the greatest castings. It's a really great casting, but I think it's one of the best like designs of a character. Like he just understood the character. She understood the character. It was a well-developed character. Yeah, even though I think I do like the DMV-ish vibes of the waiting room in the afterlife. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie because it's so realistic. Like, it's just like people watching, they're like, yeah, it sucks to wait in a waiting room, and this is probably your purgatory or hell. But even the set design of it's great. You can look at all the props in the back, look at the set, and it's all colorful too. Like, I love movies that portray the afterlife as more colorful than the living world, which I think is something that is very important to Tim Burton, because it happens both in this movie and in The Corpse Bride, which is the other movie I was thinking of, where it's so much more alive, ironically, in the world of the dead, in the underworld. It's full of music and color, and this movie also likes throwing in music and color, so I think he's got something to say about that. And I think Hispanic people do too. I only say that because Coco and The Book of Life do a similar idea and concept, but that one's more based around Hispanic culture as opposed to just a weird dude making a movie. Am I already at the part? No, she's just reading the book. Because I'm like, where I left off, they had just gone into the model where they're gonna summon Beetlejuice. Oh yeah, I just got to the part where they're caseworker. They have a caseworker, and she just tells them don't hire Beetlejuice because he was her assistant and then became a freelance guy. And she said, I want to squash his union. Yeah, call Beetlejuice 3 times. That's a really important plot point. They're bad at being ghosts. Lydia can see the ghost for no reason, and that's the part that like kind of bothers me, because the world building, and the rules of the movie are kind of just like whatever works. Can people see ghosts if they want? Like, there is no strict like they can't, it's just they won't. And then he even says in the movies like they won't or they can't, and then she's just like the book says they won't. And like, it's fun, it's whimsical for that reason, but kind of a nitpick for me. I like good world building where the rules are enforced. Then you end up with a fairly Odd Parents situation where it's like, man, your rules were a good limit at first until you started disregarding everything towards the end because you went on too long. Never mind, hold on, I gotta wind up. I gotta rewind, because the man, the myth, the legend himself has risen from the grave. Mr. Beetlegeist, Beetlegoose, Beetle Joe Mama, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I do love the fun fact of why his name is spelt like the star. He is actually, I want to say, named after the star, or I don't know if he's named after the star, but at least shares the name with the star. That is the actual spelling of Beetlejuice. But I think the reason why it was changed to the phonetic spelling of Beetlejuice is for marketability. And I think it works. That way you don't have a Pinocchio situation or an Aladdin situation, at least to me, where I forget how many D's, how many N's, or whichever. Like, there are names that are hard to spell that are movie titles, and I'm glad that at least, I hope it wasn't a compromise. I mean, maybe it was a compromise, but it's like, I do like the Beetlejuice, the phonetic spelling somehow rolls off the tongue more for people. So it's just like, oh, Beetlejuice, I get it, bug juice. but I do like that his name is actually the real spelling of the star. Like, I think it was a great way to get people on board. Like, it's a fascinating name, but they made it simple for the marketing purpose. And man, I need to turn this up a little because I need to hear this performance. Oh, it's the best part with the qualifications. Is, well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate. Oh wait, I gotta get back. I gotta go back a little because he says it's get to be real pals. You know what I'm saying? Gotta save that guy for later, huh? I'm just taking the time to get into it. And he says, oh well, I attended Juilliard. Oh wait, hold on. It goes so fast. He says, what are your qualifications? Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I traveled quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague. I had a pretty good time doing that. This is a really hard thing to do. Hold on. I'm gonna get it. Because I think the subtitles moved too quickly to the next one. I just want to see this scene again. What are your qualifications? Oh, well, I attended Juilliard. I am a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I traveled quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague and had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified? I think the now what do you think is a yelling point, but that's good. I tried my best. But I love that, because they actually had to ask him if he could be scary. I don't think he's scary, I think he's dirty. Beetlejuice is always a costume I've wanted to do. I've had like the costume before, because I think one of my college friends had one and she gave it to me, but at the time I kind of just looked like Abraham Lincoln. So my hair wasn't grown, it was short up, and I had the beard going. So I feel like if you put it back a little, kind of got that. I kind of got the Beetlejuice energy. Oh, that is why I wore my today. That's why I wore my Today I Am a Serious Goose shirt. Because he is the silliest, goosiest, juiciest ghost around. I meant like the goose juice, but no, I don't think Michael Keaton has a dumper in this movie, sadly. Oh wait, no, he does. He does. He's sticking his gat out for the Rizzler. Sticking his Beetlejuice out for the Rizzler. I hate that. His Beetlejuice ussy. His juicy juice ussy. That was the part where he goes, nice fucking model. And then he grabs his crotch and does a motion like that or something. Like, they call him a pervert. That's funny. Yes, funny. God, I'm having a good time just watching this. But yeah, then the couple decide not to utilize Beetlejuice, and they say, we gotta do it ourselves. And then they don't. Oh, I know, they do. This is where they do it anyways. This is the funny part. Haha, where they possess the shrimp, which looks so big and so fake. But I also love how, what's her name? Is it Delia? I think it's Delia Dietz is Home Alone mom. I believe she's the one that makes the statues, and I love how the only reason, I guarantee why the statues are even in the movie, is so that they could specifically be claymated to life for this movie, which is something that happens. And I love the way it looks. I think it's cool that they utilize the creepy designs of them to just move around in claymation. And then there's Ortho, a gay icon of the year, and all their preppy friends at the table. which I think one of them is Robert Goulet, because it said this movie had Robert Goulet. Or maybe it wasn't. Or maybe he was the guy on the phone. I think he might have been the guy on the phone. I don't know. I don't really know who Robert Goulet is. I just know he's a big name, and I've probably seen him in something or heard of him before. But I said I'm not a fan of this scene, so I'm just gonna skip over it. It's just daylight come and we wanna go home. That's it. That's it, people. Like, move on with your day. They're just dancing around, having a good time, doing the Macarena. Okay, that's not the Macarena. I don't even know how to do it. I think everyone does, because it's a dance that comes with instructions. And I can't do it. It's hard. Okay, you know what? I'm watching it now. I'm like physically watching the scene where they're dancing around the table. It's pretty funny. Take away anything I said. Disregard everything I said. This shit's funny. This shit slaps, bro. They're twirling around, sticking their gats out on the table. I mean, I've seen this before, you know? I've seen this behavior. Just gat out on the table for the Rizzler to wine and dine. Oh yeah, hands. Were the shrimp people the entire time? Were they always hands? Like, for the whole scene, was there just people under the table? Or were they always like gloves and people just sat under? I need to see the behind the scenes of that scene specifically. But again, this is a great shot where it's blue lighting on just the ghost people, just Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, and it's not coming from the room. The room is radiating the blue light somehow. Actually, no, I think it's just the window. I think they're shining it onto them. But it's a beautiful use. The entire inside of the house is just averagely lit. But outside of the house is the bluest, scariest lighting. I mean, it's not even scary. It's just like foreboding or like very sad or ominous. There's something about it. But I love the blue lighting. But let me go over this. They're just planning how to use the ghosts, I guess. Because they say, we're not scared of ghosts. Busting makes me feel good. And ghosts are scary and funny. Okay, now we've gotten to the point of the commentary where I'm just riffing. And that's always the best part of my commentary. Especially with movies. Oh, there's Ortho doing his signature gay strut. Oh yeah, they do introduce the concept. I forget, because I always think it comes out of left field when they get to the scene where they double die, because Tim Burton loves the concept of death and double death. He did it in Nightmare Before Christmas and this movie too. Because I can't wait to get to that scene where she says, they're dying. And then, this movie did set that up though, when they're in the like long hallway of the offices. And there's a room where the janitor says, those are the souls of the damned. Death happens twice for people. The ghosts, and they die twice for exorcism. And then they're like, yeah, they foreshadow exorcism is a concept they should be afraid of, because they'll die again. I mean, creative concept. Oh yeah, and then they gotta open the attic because they want to see that ugly model, which is cool. That's my favorite set piece of the whole movie, is that there's just a model of the town. Oh, and then they find the handbook for the recently diseased. And I swear, if anyone corrects me, you are a fake ass fan. Oh, and then the juice is loose. The goose is loosened. Wait, hold on. I gotta look at this. Cause I'm like the Beetlejuice snake looks pretty good. Like, it looks cheesy, but that's a pretty good model. That's like a model though, right? That's not claymated, or it is. It looks claymated. Or is it just stop motion? Because I know claymation and stop motion are different, right? Also, Halloween is coming. So there's a show I want to talk about. I don't know how much of it I'll talk about, but I do want to start talking about a show for Halloween. Also want to do a movie. I can't decide which one yet. Because with streaming now, I gotta fit days to record videos too, so my schedule's a little packed to even try to promise a video about a show and a movie. So I know I can't fit everything into October because it's so short. October's only 1 month. My channel's all year long, baby. Oh yeah, hold on. This is the good Beetlejuice part. This is, maybe I can get you out here, I gotta tell you this, death thing. Crunch. It's just too creepy. See, here's my problem. I got these friends on the outside that said I'd meet. I have to be there in person, so I was just wondering, could you help me get out of here? Since I want to get in, he says, why? Well, you've probably got your reasons, but I can't do anything from over here. If you can get me out over there, then maybe we could talk or something. But, in order to do that, you gotta say my name 3 times. And then Winona Ryder says, what's your name? And they said, well, I can't tell you. She says, why not? You know why? Because if I tell you that you tell your friends are calling me on the horn all the time. I gotta show up at shopping centers for openings, sign autographs, shit like that. It makes my life a hell, okay? A living hell. And maybe if you have a bed, maybe we can, I know you have a plate charades. Here we go, ready? He does a lot of shit like that. First word. Oh wait, no, he doesn't say that. It's funny to do this dubbing back and forth. Just turn around. And then he shows a big ass beetle drinking juice, and she goes, your name's Beetle Orange, Beetle Vitamin C, Beetle, Beetle Minute Maid, Beetle Orange Breakfast, Beetle Boost, Beetle Fruit, Beetle Breakfast, Beetle Drink. And she says, Beetle Juice. And he says, yeah, that's it. He says, you said twice. Just say it once more, come on. And then she says, oh, I don't like you. You're a giant snake trying to kill my family. And then she says, no, I want to talk to Barbara. And he says, no, you don't need to talk to Barbara. Just say it. This is the main part I like about Beetlejuice, is that I just like doing the voice. I like doing the little acting every time he does it, because he gets all into it, and he's just flailing, and it's funny. Another great shot of practical effects where they elongate their faces, and Alec Baldwin's eyes look like nostrils. I think his name's Adam in the movie. And then Gina Davis's face, again, is amazing, because it's like a crocodile open mouth situation with bugging eyes, and it's bugging eyes coming. They're placed in the mouth, like on top of the long snake-like tongue or crocodile tongue. I don't know what kind of proportions that is, but it's crazy design going on there. Yeah, and then Beetlejuice promises to kill Lydia, I guess. I don't know. She says, he was gonna take me. I don't know what's my voice for Lydia, but it is now. It's just a funny little baby voice. Oh yeah, and then Alec Baldwin still looks stupid. I mean, that's a joke. I'm not trying to make fun of him or the movie. That's literally the joke. Is that he's gonna fix his face as he's trying to lecture Lydia, and he's got a big nose. And then he goes, right, Lydia, we're dead. Don't be dead. Oh no, he wags with his nose. My bad. I can't do that. I can get close though. Ugh, Jeffrey Jones got the big schnoz too, though. And I can critique him, because he's a pedophile and he sucks. He was a good actor, though, unfortunately. If you want me to watch Ferris Bueller, I will definitely attack him. But Ferris Bueller is also a good movie. Oh wait, there is Robert Goulet, I think. It's a funny thumbnail I can do. Wait, I need to move the mic out of the way for that. Oh yeah, and then they summon them with exorcism. They get their old wedding clothes that they never tossed out. And then they look sad and in love, and they're wrinkly and dying. That's the end of this movie. No, it's not. It's just gonna be sad. Lydia says, what? They're dying. Wait, what? Hold on, I forgot this part of the movie. Yeah, they're dying. They're double dead. And then... oh yeah, what's happening to them? And then Ortho says, I don't know. Oh, and then Lydia says, they're dying. I don't know why now they care about being good people. They haven't been good people the whole movie. I don't know why now the parents are like, oh, we shouldn't kill dead people. It's like, they're dead. This is your property now. Like, I don't know. And then Lydia goes to Beetlejuice. I do not remember this line of, he says they call him an illegal alien. What the hell does that mean? I do remember that. Oh yeah, because he says he's an illegal alien. He says for that I gotta get married, and he decides I'm gonna marry this teenager. Very Elvis of him. Very Drake of him, you could say. Don't like that part. That might be the end. That might be the end of this video. What else happens here? Now I'm disgusted. Oh yeah, then he's gonna marry her, and he says, don't say my name. And then he fakes her consent to get married by mimicking her voice. My camera went out. You know how bad this shit is? My camera went out. Okay, happy ending. We're at the happy ending where Lydia just is more or less a normal kid now, going to some prep school. She gets an A on a test, and then they possess the whole house for fun time. So now that I've watched it again, how is Beetlejuice? I just like that joke, but no, I mean, yeah, it has problematic stuff. It has Beetlejuice being a predator. It has an actual predator in the movie. Oh, they even mention Elvis in this movie. Oh yeah, and then his head shrinks at the end of the movie as he's waiting forever. And yeah, you know what? The end of the movie does sour it a lot. I mean, it's a treasured movie to me, though. Like, you know, it's iconic. It's an iconic movie. I watched it growing up a lot. Sure, it's outdated and badly outdated. Oh yeah, because when they shrink his head, it starts clipping. Yeah, the ending scene's not that great. Doing more cultural appropriation songs. They got the football team back for some reason. But, no, the main reason I wanted to share this is I do like watching this movie on the annual... what is it? On the annual Halloween watch, you know? It's a good Halloween movie. It's a good spooky season. It's my favorite Tim Burton movie. I still stand by that, unfortunately. But Yeah, it's got Jeffrey Jones in it. Sadly, I will pull up that information. He's not getting away with that shit. Michael Keaton's great. Michael Keaton's best part of the movie. Alec Baldwin's good. Winona Ryder. Literally, the cast is stacked. Excuse me. But I have great memories of this movie. I watched it when I was a kid. First time I ever watched it was eating fried chicken with my cousins. And we would do that sometimes. This was back in the day when video rental places were still a thing. You could still rent VHS tapes. I think we're already like at DVD at that point. Sometimes I think we'd get the occasional VHS tape, maybe. It was just a format that didn't go to DVD. Some shows were just, yeah, you could watch shows VHS, but yeah, sometimes we'd get a VHS or we'd get a DVD. I think Beetlejuice was one of those DVDs we had to watch, and I was like, it was a good time. Eat Popeye's fried chicken on a Tuesday discount. It's a good deal. But yeah, you know, good movie. Questionable things, very questionable things. So all in all, it's a good movie with bad stuff in it, or bad qualities. I don't know. Cast in order of appearance: Adam, Alec Baldwin, Barbara, Gina Davis, Jane Butterfield, her name is Butterfield? Ernie, Old Bill, Beetlejuice, Little Jane. Oh wait, the daughter's name was Little Jane? Delia. Moving 1, Moving 2, Charles, Lydia, Otho, Receptionist, 30-something, Janitor, Juno, Maxie Dean, Bernard. Okay. That's the cast, and again, this was the Beetlejuice video.